Alright, salad. Thank you, Luca, for coming.
Thank you, Ayas, for inviting me.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so you're one of the most interesting friends that I have. Most interesting. And I just wanted to just have a chat, Machan.
Let's
Just
have a
have
chat.
you over, and then
Let's
we can run
humidify
around.
the throat.
So you are like, I think you are like, okay, I'm not qualified enough to make this judgment call, but I think you're known as southern expert, right? Expert of the southern areas.
Have you seen me like this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like you know everywhere to go, you know what to do, you know all that stuff, right?
If you see me like this, I'm happy.
So, yeah, tell me, how did it start? Like, how?
How did I get the Southern expert?
Yeah, how did you? How did you
I
become?
guess I went to the South.
I don't know. Yeah, but like, how did it go? That's
How did it start? So there was this friend called Abdul Halik Aziz
Okay, absolutely, Halik.
that
yeah.
I met in Delhi
Okay.
in a hostel
Okay.
in India.
Okay.
And I think the very first moment, oh no, I don't think, he told me this actually. He was like, what the fuck is this guy? Because I was very straightforward, I think, and
Yeah.
I made some noise.
Yeah.
And we stayed in this hostel in Delhi for like a week together, maybe, something like this.
Okay.
And we started getting friends,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
So started realizing, oh, this guy's not that bad as I thought.
He started. Okay.
But to be honest, I have to say there is something that triggered that, because I was like, how are you? Where are you from? You look like a guy from Kerala, and he wasn't happy
pissed off
about the
that.
judgment
Yeah,
that he's an Indian. I
Dude,
mean,
I don't know. We don't like it. We are from India, but then we don't like it.
exactly. I mean, I don't know where you guys from. Everyone is from the same place in the end.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so he didn't like this. And but after a while, he realized I don't really care if he comes from Kerala, Sri Lanka. But he made me think there. He made me think, what is the difference between Kerala and Sri Lanka then? Because I've been in Kerala, and I heard Sri Lanka is very similar, at least from the landscape, in comparison to Kerala. I mean, obviously it's an island, there's a bit of a difference, but it's very similar.
Very similar. Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I go to Sri Lanka. And after a couple days that we separated our ways, I actually went to Goa, and he went to... Where did he go? He went to Spain, I think. Back to Sri Lanka and then to Spain. He was actually in Delhi for the visa. For
okay.
Spain.
Okay.
He had to wait.
Okay.
So I went to Goa. After a couple days, he wrote to me that he felt this deep brotherhood in between us. He wrote a really nice text,
Oh my God.
which he's really good in.
Okay, yeah.
We know this.
Absolutely.
How to put things in words.
Absolutely.
So
Feelings in words.
I felt this also. Like the way he said this, I really felt the same way he said. And I was in Goa, and a couple months later, he wrote to me, if I'm still in Goa, he's gonna come to Goa. He's gonna have like a little part of the art exhibition there, Serendipity Art Festival in Goa,
Okay.
and I'm more than welcome to come there. And there was like a big invitation party for like only invited guests, and was like, that was the moment when India changed the 1,000 rupee bill to the 2,000 rupee bill. So there was lots of black money around, and some people had too much cash that they needed to invest. So they made these huge events, and this was one of these huge events. I don't know if that's true. That's what I heard. Hearing is what I do. So I heard that, and that's also how it looked.
How long has this been? Like, how long has this been?
That must be like two and a half years ago. Maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 2.5 years ago actually.
Okay.
And it was very interesting because we went to that art exhibition. Me and the friend that stayed with me in this time also. He had said I can bring someone as well.
Okay.
So we went there, And it was actually really cool. The exhibition was really cool. And after the exhibition, that was just for that one day, like the opening day. All the invited guests, which were mainly like celebrities and like friends of the artists and like investors, we got all invited into like a Taj hotel, and there was like a soccer field size area with all different kinds of food.
Soccer, oh my god.
That you can find everything you wanted, from imported cheese from Switzerland over lobster, everything. So I had a really nice experience, and he invited me there. So I invited him also to come to my place in Goa, and he came with a couple friends from the art exhibition.
Okay.
And then after that, I was curious to go to Sri Lanka even more. I was like, now I have a good reason. I have a good friend there, and I was curious already about the country. Let's go to Sri Lanka. And after a little bit of traveling, I went everywhere else a little bit. I was in, don't even need to count what kind of countries. I was in 5-6 different countries. And then I went back home to Switzerland to visit my family. And after that, I was like, okay, where do I go next? And I wrote to Halik, like, yo, what's up? Are you back in Sri Lanka or are you in Spain? And he just came back, or he wrote to me. It was like similar time zones where we wrote each other. And he said, yeah, he's back. He's going to be back in, I don't know when that was, the first time I came. Whatever, like, I think I came in January and he was back in October or so.
Okay.
So I came here. And then when I came here, everyone told me, you have to go to the south. Don't stay in Colombo.
Yeah,
go to the south.
obviously.
Go to the south.
Obviously.
Go to the south.
Yeah.
And like every single person, I was like, I mean, okay, if everyone tells me go to the south, you don't want me here, I go to the south. And now I went to the south.
Yeah,
And it was nice. So I'm still there. I started surfing more, so I started appreciating more being there also.
So, were you into surfing before this, or?
Surfing, my first time surfing was actually very long ago, but that's not really called surfing. That was like kneeling on a board and trying. That was in San Diego, 2012, I think.
Okay.
And then I didn't surf for a long time. I was in Australia 2016, 17, 18.
Australia, it's crazy, right? They have like crazy waves, huh?
Yeah,
Or is it Hawaii?
not only the waves, also the prices for the surfboard rental was so high, and I'm not a person that like spends shit tons of money. So I was like, okay, whenever I enter a country, I decide where do I go next, because the ticket is cheaper when you look in advance. So when I came to Australia, I had a 3 months tourist visa, and I was like, okay, let's check where I go next. And I checked the tickets. Where are the cheapest tickets from which airport? So basically I booked the ticket out already from Australia. Yeah. There was 2 options that were the same amount. That was either New Zealand or Bali.
Okay.
So I decided to go to Bali because Australia and New Zealand are more similar. Bali is going to be completely different culture again. So I decided to go Bali. And I knew that surfing there is going to be super cheap and at least as good as in Australia. You don't need the wetsuit. You don't.
Absolutely.
So
the suit is worn for the cold, is it?
Yeah, when the water is cold, so it basically
I didn't know that.
Isolates the body temperature.
Yeah, I still didn't know that. I thought it was like for like, I don't know, like shark or shark protection or something like that. I didn't know.
No, it's for that. It might help against jellyfish, maybe. Not sharks. I think.
Sting.
Sharks, I think they bite through this.
I don't know why I thought that. Weird. Yeah.
And then. I went there. That's where I really got into surfing. Or not really. I don't know what is getting into surfing mean, but that's where I went to a surf camp. I decided to learn the basics and the surf. I was in the surf camp for a couple days. And then I didn't surf again for very long. Until I came to Sri Lanka. Until I went to the south. And then I started getting excited about it. I got better. The better I got, the more interesting it was. And it's like a constant growth. You can never be the best in surfing. You can always push yourself to feel it more, and also it's not like I don't want to be like a professional surfer. I'm not heading there. I just do it for it's like a balance. It's an exchange. It's really nice. It's a really good exchange for the body and for the mind, because you basically meditate and you're active in the same time.
What do you mean?
So there's lots of moments where you have to wait.
Yes.
So, and it also depends on the time of the day that you go out. If you go very early morning when there is almost no one in the water, only the ones that decide to wake up early and not party the night before, there's barely anyone in the water, and you have peace. The only thing you hear is the water and the birds, maybe some breath tuk-tuk that passes with the melody. So that's all.
And interesting, yeah. I love that.
So that's a very good state to like just observe your thoughts and let them be, and observe the ocean and the nature. It's like meditating. And then when the wave comes, you have to be active. So it's physically and psychologically, spiritually, whatever you want to call that. It's good.
That's it. I've never thought of it like that. I mean, makes sense. A lot of people do stay in the water a long time. I mean, when I go surfing, I stay like the lowest in the water because it's hard to catch the wave, right? Because you need like really good upper body strength to like really like, you know, paddle and try to catch that wave.
Yeah, it's also technique. I mean, there's skinny girls, tiny skinny, chutty girls that surf. I'm sure they have less upper body strength than you, but there's even boys. Like there's in the south there's kids there. I don't know how old they are, but like young boys, 7, 8, 10 years old, and they I'm sure they don't have as much upper body strength as you, but they know exactly when to pedal how much. So it's more technique in the end than strength. Obviously you need a little bit of muscles, but it's a lot of feeling.
So for me, that board thing was always like, I mean, I didn't know. People say as a beginner you go for the longboard, you know, the big one and all the stuff. But I just lugging that around is just really big. It's so heavy, like 6, 7 feet or whatever. And then like trying to pedal on that, I always have a tough time. But then there are people who use a small board. I mean, what's that whole story?
I mean, there's more than only small and big boards. But to see the difference, so the reason why they give big boards to the beginners, or why the beginners start with the big, longer, wider, fatter board, is because it floats more.
Okay.
That means when you stand up, you don't need to stand exactly in the right position. If you're a little bit too much in the front, or a little bit too much in the back, or a little bit too much on the sides, you will not fall straight away. That's why you see there's also a professional way of longboarding, but then they use this opportunity to walk on the board back and forwards. I'm probably you have seen this. And with the shortboard it's different. You don't have that range. You cannot step a little bit too much in the front, a little bit too much in the back. Basically, the moment you stand up, you already have to stand at the right spot. If else, you lose your balance. So, I don't want to say a shortboard needs more balance. Depending on the way you ride it. A longboard also needs a lot of balance, but that's when you move on it. But to just stand on a longboard without moving is easier than to just stand on a shortboard.
Makes sense.
Right. And with a longboard, you make the movements with your body on the board to move the board.
Like that.
Also with walking back and forwards.
Okay.
Basically dancing.
Okay.
With the shortboard, it's different.
I didn't realize I had to.
With the shortboard, you move with your torso.
Okay.
Like with the way you move your body, like without the feet. You're not moving your feet. That's the difference. And then there's lots of other differences, like the fins, the shapes of the boards. That's like an endless topic.
I'm always worried about the fins because, like, especially when I have the big boards, like you have to bring the board like out to the beach, and then like the fin might get damaged and stuff like that.
Yeah. You mean when you get into the land again?
Get into the land again, because those what do you call it?
Fins.
Sorry, give me a second. What happened? I say no. I mean, I'm recording the audio on the phone. Give me this phone. Give me that.
Maybe leave it there, but the sound will be changed in the middle of the.
No, I think we can switch it. Maybe we can switch it. Hopefully. Let's see.
Okay.
So. Yeah, man.
What's that? How is this throw?
Yeah, dude. It's like still. It's been like this for like a while now. 3 days now, I think.
But I don't hear anything. You say the voice sounds different. I think it's.
Yeah?
I mean, maybe I didn't hear you for too long now, so I don't remember your voice.
Yeah. Speaking about voices, your girlfriend has like a crazy voice.
She has a good voice. beautiful. Yeah.
Very, very. She's like popular, right? Popular.
What means popular?
I don't know. Like a lot of people.
She has popularity. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's good.
Man, what's that? So yeah, like bringing that boat because boats are really expensive, man. Like really, really expensive.
Depends where you get them from.
But then,
Here in Sri Lanka, they are expensive actually. In Bali, they're very cheap. In Bali, you can make a custom-made board for, depending how many boards you buy and where you buy, it's maybe $150, $200. Custom shaped.
here it's like you can't even buy a basic boat for that price, no?
A new one?
Yeah.
A new one here, maybe around $500. Yeah.
There are guys who make it right here, right?
There's a very small amount of guys that make it here. It's not a lot, but there is.
Interesting. So yeah. So then, like surf spots, you like choose like what are the surf spots like that are really good? I mean, I know there are 2 seasons.
Yeah.
See, I'm not really familiar with this one, but I know there are 2 seasons, and then there is one season where people in the south, which is now, August to December, I think, right? August to December or something like that. August to January or February.
No, in the south.
Yeah.
In the south, it starts like the official season.
Yeah.
When the tourists come, when the waves, when the most of the places, there's lots of surf spots in the south. When most of them work, it's something in between maybe October till February, March. You cannot really say it. Sometimes it starts a bit earlier, a bit later.
Okay.
It stops a bit later. But
Okay.
the main season for tourism, not for surfing, for
Okay.
tourism,
Okay.
is December till February maybe, but the surf tourism stretches the whole thing a little bit out. But even now in the off season you can also surf. It's just not, there's just not that many waves. You just have to go to the wave that is working. And Aragambe, or like the East Coast, so they just call it Aragambe. It's just a place anyway, but it's the spots in the east. They are working right now. This is I think starting from maybe May, June until September.
I still haven't been to Aragambe. I hear it's like very nice.
I haven't surfed there.
Is it?
I've just been there, but I haven't
Okay.
surfed.
May like so there are a couple of spots, right? So you have like recently what I've been hearing about is like this like in Gaul, just near Gaul, right at the exit. There is
Devata.
Devata, yeah, Devata.
Yeah, you can surf there.
So yeah, I actually
It's
didn't.
like Veligama. It's the same like Veligama basically.
Is
It's-
it?
I mean, it's a sand break. It's not the same. It's always going to be different, but
Okay.
it's a sand break. It's
What does that mean?
that means there's no reef. So this is where you should start surfing because it's not that dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you don't break the fins.
Yeah.
You don't break your body. Or it's not that easy. You still can, as you
yeah.
experience. Probably
Yeah,
you
for
touch
sure.
the fin, the sand,
For sure,
but the sand doesn't break a fin instantly.
yeah.
Maybe scratches it
Yeah.
and doesn't break your bones instantly if you hit it.
Yeah. But
Um,
others are like reef, you mean?
Most of the other spots are reef spots. There's 3 spots in the south that I know that are sand, which
Okay.
is Devata, Veligama, and then Matara, Black Sand Beach.
We went there.
We went there.
Yeah, we went there. That was
So
very
these are
nice.
sand breaks.
Okay.
The rest is reef. I think, I don't know, maybe there's spots that I don't know.
Hirikati?
Hirikati is half-half.
Ah.
If you go to the left side on the side, you know, on the edge
Yeah,
where, where
yeah.
the base starts,
Yeah,
where there's like big rocks,
Yeah.
there's reef.
Ah,
And
that's
the
nice.
rest of the bay is sand.
I actually love that. That's my favorite bay, man. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, so
there.
actually there's one more. There's probably even 1,000 more that we didn't discover yet.
Yeah,
You can just take, there's people, the smartest surfers,
Okay.
they just take a tuk-tuk or the bike and they go look for a place where nobody is. You can sometimes surf at places where it's just not known as a spot, but the wave might be at specific days better than anywhere else. The ocean is not predictable. And especially even in Veligama, the sandbanks are changing. Right now, there's the change coming to the season where the sandbanks are changing, which means the waves are in different places every day. You just have to look. It's not always at the same place. During the season, it's very constant at the similar place. or the stretch is very wide. It's like a lot of the beach is surfable.
Yeah.
And in the off season, you always have to look. There's sometimes a wave there, sometimes here, sometimes none. You just have to look a little bit more.
So recently I went down south. We were going to Jungle Beach. The waves were very different. And we went to Una, which is like, I don't know, not that far away. Very different waves. I was like, wow, okay. And then Una was like, and even in Una, like the stretch, one side was like very slow and like a lot of like knotless waves, and then one
surfed in Una?
No, I didn't, because I had like a head injury.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, in the end, you can surf everywhere, depending on what kind of quality of wave you want. But you can surf everywhere there is waves.
It's deep there, right? Unawatru is deep.
I've never been there.
Is it? It's really deep.
I mean, I passed it, but I've never been there.
That's like known for like a lot of beachside.
People told me go to the south. I went straight to the southest point. I went to Malta. That's where I stayed first.
So with the Southern Expressway, man, it used to be like 4-hour journey. It's horrible.
Yeah, now it's so fast. The fastest time I came with the guy that took me with him, like give me a lift with the car from Eissa, from door to door, to Dehivala, to the door of my girlfriend's home. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Very good.
It used to be like 4 hours, man. Wait, this is Matara.
Mirissa, yeah.
Oh, Mirissa, yeah. So your exit is entrance is. Wow, that's crazy.
But there is an entrance in Veligama, or inside Veligama.
Exit. Okay.
Entrance, exit. No, that's good.
So, you have one thing. There's another interesting thing is like you have a very cool background. Swiss Egyptian.
The cool one is probably Swiss. The hot one is Egyptian.
When you said cool, I was like, oh, okay, it's interesting. Cool meaning like cool, and then like hot.
I have how do you call that? Medium temperature background.
Medium temperature background, like warm water, lukewarm water, lukewarm background.
Sorry, I didn't want to turn around the words in your mouth.
No. What I mean is, it's actually very interesting because
you like the fact that I have a mixed background.
No, it's not that. It's just that. See, a lot of people I know with like even in Sri Lanka, you know, a lot of backgrounds. You have like you go through like identity crisis, right? You're like, okay, where do I belong? What do I do? But then you like the fact that you have that, and then you don't have like you're a pretty chill guy, right? I found that interesting. I don't know. That's why I brought the whole thing up.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So there's a lot of culture issues here in Sri Lanka because you have a lot of different ethnicities, you have a lot of different religions, you have a lot of different skin colors, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, so that's a very interesting thing. That is, I don't know if that has something to do with me. In the end, we are all mixed, you know, like
for sure.
Everyone is mixed.
Absolutely.
If you're mixed out of two parents that are white, or out of two parents that are black, or a parent that is black and one that is white, or brown, or yellow, or whatever you call it, in the end, we're all mixed. I mean, I don't know who was pure, but that guy or that girl or that guy is long way ago. So we don't even want to go there.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the end, it depends on you. It depends on you, or it depends on me, or whoever it is. It depends on us how we look at this. If you look at yourself as a brown guy, you automatically judge the other guy to be white. If you look at yourself as a human being, the other is also a human being. Sure. So it depends on you how you see yourself. I don't see myself as white, or as black, or even as brown, or as yellow. I mean, I have everything.
You're African, you're white,
and the same you, man. Look at yourself.
For sure.
There's parts of your body that are brown, some hair that is black, your eyes are white. You're also everything. Sure. Everyone is everything.
Sure.
And I think by the moment where you start separating, that's where you have your conflict with your identity. That's what he said.
But don't you think like so forget about race. Like let's not talk about race really. Like culturally, that's what I think. That's where it arises. Because
what means culture to you?
So okay, for example, let me tell you from my experience, right? Now, most Muslims in Sri Lanka
religion then. We come up to the religion.
Muslims culturally don't feel like they fit in. When
So
I say
religion belongs to culture for you.
not, you're putting me in a really tough spot.
If else you have to let the religion out. If
Okay,
you
okay.
say culture and religion,
Forget
is not the
about
same.
religion. Like forget about religion. Okay, so let's talk about food. Okay, the fact that it's food, right? Okay, not even food. Like say traditions, right?
Okay.
Certain traditions or whatever, are very different to like the traditions of
Where do traditions come from?
religion. Can be culture.
We can
be-
talk about religion, man.
Can be temperature, can be like, I mean, if you're like living in a humid environment, you have culture, you grow up, your times of waking, sleep, all that depends on that environment, right? So obviously it's not just one thing, it's not just race, it's not, I don't think it's just one thing.
Yeah.
But I see where you're getting there. I get it.
But wherever you want to go, man.
So, no, so what I mean is Muslims in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Right? Moors especially Moors, right? Moors are basically people who came from India,
Yes.
people who came from the Arab countries, traders, they have generations, families, intermingled with a lot of local folk, right? I mean, there are Muslims with singular last names and stuff like that, first names, last names. So, like a lot of Moors, these people are very they feel very removed culturally. They feel different from like identity-wise. They feel different from Sri Lankans, right? So they feel like okay, they don't belong in the Sri Lankan narrative.
Yeah.
They don't belong in the Indian narrative because they're not Indian. They don't belong in the Arab narrative, right? They're just like a mix, obviously, but then they don't feel like they fit in anywhere. So if you look at, like for example, last 10 years, this is very visible in the sense that how a lot of Muslims started adopting the Arab garb, the thobe and the abaya and the face cover and all that shit,
So they identify themselves with Arabs.
because they felt like maybe
So-
that's a connection that I can use, like a Muslim. I remember even I used to think like that. It was like, okay, culturally I'm not like Sri Lankans, so I'm gonna be identifying or dressing like Arabs. Maybe like call myself Abu something also.
But even the Islam says everyone is the same, no?
No, it's just different.
What does it say? We all one.
Okay. Huh?
We all one, no?
I mean, it says we are one. It says there's no difference between two people and whatever. But it says that there is cultures. There is the fact that it's clearly stated, which is something very interesting. One of my favorite
but you don't
verses.
have to identify yourself with one of them.
True. But what it says, like Islam is like a uniting factor. Like even though, that's one of my favorite quotes in the Quran. It says, the God created races and cultures and languages and all the different languages, different cultures, different types of people, different looking people, so that you basically get along, work together with different minds, rather than be divisive, right? So and then this religion is like a uniting factor or like common medium or whatever. But in a case of like a country with like one religion or whatever, which I don't believe should exist, to be honest, it's boring. It becomes very boring. I was born and bred in Saudi, so I know boring, right? So that's what I mean. You get what I mean. So
get
that
what you
mix, that pot, you feel lost, right? And it's very common, like in people, like from Desi guys who go to, or Arab guys who go to the US.
Yeah.
There's also a show around
I
this.
mean, the one that feels lost decides to feel lost. If you want to be lost, go for it. You don't have to feel lost. That's your own decision, and everyone owns
It's
the
a nice
decision.
perspective.
Everyone decides himself if he wants to be lost or not. You can be whatever you are as long as you accept everything else and you don't separate yourself. It doesn't matter if it's religion or skin color. It's the same thing. So if I tell you what I told you before, if you see everyone as a human being, everyone is the same. You can still be a Muslim, you can still be a Buddhist, you can still be a Christian or any other religion that is not one of the world religions. But don't look at the others as something else. They are human beings, so don't separate yourself from them, and you will not feel lost. You will feel united with everyone. That's the first step. You can go on with this. There is more. If we say we are human beings, we separate ourselves from the animal world and the plants and every other living being. So maybe better you say you're a living being. Put it there, and then we're all the same. You're not lost. We are all together.
Absolutely, that's a great perspective. Honestly, that's a great perspective.
It's a neutral perspective.
It's a neutral perspective. It's not extremes of one end or whatever.
Because I don't put myself on any side. And I will never do
I
this.
like that. That's so.
You can do that too.
For sure.
You don't have to let go of any religion or anything that you have.
Sure.
You just be yourself.
For sure. No, I get what I mean. That's. See, I've been in situations where I tell myself that, but I don't think most people put it into action.
That's their decision.
Maybe it's a subconscious thing. Maybe it's the way. I mean, not to put point fingers or blame or whatever.
For sure, it's a subconscious thing. Everyone feels attacked, but they decide to feel attacked. You can only see others the way you see yourself. If you see someone else as a racist, you're one. Automatically. If you see someone else as a black guy, you're one. It's the same. You can only see others the way you see yourself. And the same way is the opposite. The others can only see you the way you see yourself.
You can see others the way you see yourself.
Only the way you see yourself, you can see others. And others can only see you the way you see yourself. Or they see themselves. It doesn't matter. You can put it in any way.
Some deep shit, man. It's fucking awesome. Like, it's really awesome. No, so one of the yes, absolutely. I absolutely 100%.
It's good you recorded that. You can listen to it again.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's exactly why I did it, man. This is exactly why, because I want to go through this again.
Go
and
for
like
it.
actually, because now I'm not into, right? I'm like having a conversation, but I'm trying to, have the conversation, yeah.
So basically, if you don't want to be lost, everyone is a Muslim, everyone is a Buddhist, everyone is a Christian, everyone is whatever else religion there are existing. The ones that put themselves only in one religion, they're the ones that separate themselves from the rest and get lost. It doesn't mean you cannot be Muslim, but you have to be everything. You cannot be only one. If else you separate yourself,
Sure.
No judging any religion here. I don't have a problem with any religion. So if someone asks me what's my religion, I say I have no religion. And then someone tells me, so you have to have a religion. Like Halik told me this, everyone has a religion. So I said, okay, then I have every religion. Then I'm all of them.
And you say that not to be like, oh, everyone is equal, but you say that because most people who say that
Because that's
think
the only
like,
way it is.
Yeah, so
I believe in what is.
There's two different ways like people think about that. So some people say that just to like say that, oh, like
I'm sure there's more than two.
maybe, but I see like when people say that there's like, oh, it's to coexist or whatever. It's like, no, everyone is different, but everyone is equal, whatever. But the way you're saying it, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you say that because you think that that's going to be a factor.
I don't want to compare.
Yeah. That's a nice one. Okay.
I don't need to compare anything.
Why am I trying to? Yeah. Fuck, man, that's awesome. So this podcast this video podcast, what I'm trying to do by this is try to get people who aren't in either extremes, but with come and share their perspective. Because I mean, it's nice to, I would basically maybe sometimes get in some crazy guys from both sides, maybe put them together and but end of the day I want just this man, conversations that people have within usually closed doors.
Two perspectives that lead to one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have always more than one perspective.
Yeah.
There is so many perspectives. None of them is right or wrong.
Absolutely.
I think the trick is to find the center of them.
True.
The alignment of two perspectives where both of them cross each other and no one feels offended by the other one.
And what usually this happens within closed doors. It usually happens
It
within
happens
certain
everywhere
circles.
all the time.
No, true, but it's within circles, right? It's not I wouldn't say it's propagated everywhere. Like everyone don't have access to, say, a couple of artists or whatever, having conversations there, whatever their perspective, sharing this one. Usually it's within those circles. You wouldn't be able to like.
It's within you.
Yeah.
You don't need a circle. You are your own circle.
No. What I mean is like this. What I mean is the conversations.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the perspectives.
Okay.
Obviously, people have different perspectives. What I'm saying is, these conversations, people like to hear things like this. Is what I'm trying to say. Simply. So that's why I'm trying to do this.
Good. Put it out.
Put it out. Put it out. Dude. Okay. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe I'm using strong words.
Use whatever you want.
You live by this principle where it's happiness and health above all.
What happened above all?
Was it?
I mean, I don't know if I can say this above all. Yeah. I mean,
how would you know? Okay. How would you?
Everything comes with this, no? Okay. If you're happy and healthy, everything comes with it along. I mean, at least everything that we love to have or want to have, because we can only have what we can only want what we don't have.
Yeah.
Can only want what we don't have.
True.
So when you're healthy, you can have everything, because that's all you need for your body, at least, to have health. If you have health in your body, everything else doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you sleep on the street under a bench, or if you sleep in the most luxury villa somewhere on top of the mountain. As long as you're healthy, everything else doesn't matter. So basically it means when you're healthy, you have everything you need, and everything else is just extra. It's just adding. It's a topping. You know, everything else doesn't really matter. If you focus yourself on this, the rest doesn't matter.
I think most people want to live like this, to be honest. But then when sometimes now I'm trying, like, I had things in mind, right? But what you said about, it's all about how you think. It's really like starting to question my, like,
Beautiful.
Like, so that's
something clicked already.
Something clicked, yes. And I'm like trying to.
I'm glad.
So yeah. I mean, I love these conversations, man. I mean, it just makes me really
good.
I'm always open. I'm always never afraid to say I'm wrong. Always.
Never always. It's the same word.
Yeah, my English is bad, man.
Oh, my English. I don't even want to talk about my English here. Let's talk in the language that we know.
Yeah.
Singlish, Swiss English, whatever it is. We find a way to communicate. It's more vibrations than communication.
For sure. What did I want to say? I wanted to say about happiness, and then most people feel tied down. Even though they want to live their life that's happy or healthy or whatever, healthy and happy, obviously, people feel tied down by certain factors.
Yeah.
Maybe it's supporting a family or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for this cause. No, not cause. Maybe it's most of the time culturally, from a cultural perspective. I don't know. When we discussed this earlier, you said it's a common thing, but culturally, the whole family supporting thing is very common in Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
So, or in this region, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere in the world.
there.
It's everywhere a little bit different, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, so you have to live with your parents. Even after getting married, even before getting married, you don't get to live alone. It's not.
The rules.
The rules, yeah, rules. So these rules can impede on what you said.
I don't believe in rules.
True, I agree, right? But some people are like, they're like, okay, people would ask, I want to live happy and healthy. But if I live in my parents' house, I'm not going to be happy, right?
Yeah.
But then I can't leave my parents, because if I leave my parents, they'll be like, oh, you're leaving us, you're abandoning us, whatever. They'll guilt trip you, which is very common, right? So then that their happiness is now impeded by a factor that they don't feel like they have control over, which is very common in Sri Lanka or in Asia.
So that means that they use their kids for their happiness.
Yeah.
which automatically doesn't work because it's not their happiness, it's the kids' happiness, right? So everyone should be happy by themselves.
They should make them happy.
And if your parents really love you, they only want you to be happy, right? I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about everyone. Everyone has to be happy without taking happiness from someone else, you know? You shouldn't be happy because I'm happy. I mean, I love that. This is an energy exchange. If you're happy that I'm happy, that's beautiful. But you should not depend on my happiness. Like, parents should not depend on the happiness of a child to be happy or the child to be around. This is a selfish love. It's not conditional, not unconditional. It's conditional love. Mother and father love are conditioned. It's mother love and father love. It's not just love. So if they condition that by a cultural aspect, which they have been told from their parents, that have been told from their parents, from wherever this came from, they condition this cultural aspect of we can only be happy if our child stays with us. But in the same thing, in the same moment, they have a conflict because they want you to create a family. That's at least what I know about these cultures. So they want the same. They want you to be happy with someone else, but they need you to be happy. And that doesn't work like this. At the moment where you are happy with yourself, your parents will automatically be happy too.
Hopefully.
Because if they really love you unconditionally, they will be happy of you being happy.
That's a great way to put it.
So the happiness you get is a choice, man. It's a choice. It's not a decision, or maybe it's a decision. It's not something that you can find somewhere. Either you are happy or you're not. You cannot go and say, I go and I surf and then I'm happy. It does. Maybe that makes you temporarily happy, but in the end, you have to be happy to make things that make you happy. You cannot. There will be nothing that fills your void to be happy. You just have to be happy. It's something that you do, like something that you are. It's not something that you can get from anything. And it doesn't matter if it's you or your parents. And if you say there is something that ties you down, or someone says that's something that ties them down, and it's the family, so you already know what ties you down. It's your own cultural restriction that you got from someone that has the same problem. You don't have to live along the same way your parents do if you don't want to. And the same way you will change them. If you decide to be happy and you show them that you are happy, you have to show them. You have to say, hey, what do you want from me? To live with you guys, or you want me to be happy and healthy? And then they will definitely not say, I want you to stay with me. I want you to be happy and healthy, whatever it is, no? And then you will tell them, look, you have to be happy with yourself. I cannot fulfill your happiness. That doesn't work, right? So that's the way you have to look at it. It all comes from yourself. Everything and every emotion, man. Every single emotion. If it's hate or anger or love or whatever it is, it comes from you. It's a choice. You choose it. It's not someone else or some other thing that does it. If you attract it more and more, it will come. Like if you're angry about the situation in Sri Lanka with the cultural difference and all the religion that fight against each other, go there, man. You will get the hate because that's where you look at. And you always go where you look. If you look at these things the most, that's where you head towards the most. If you look at the anger that is there, you go towards that anger. If you look at the happiness that is existing in this country, which there is a lot, you will go towards the happiness. It doesn't mean you have to close your eyes and not look, but don't judge. Look at it in a neutral way, not in a perspective where you put yourself on a side. If it's religion or race or whatever it is in the end, it doesn't matter, anything. Neutral. You have to be neutral. If else you get attached by it.
That's actually, because see, it's what you said right now, that the fact, emphasizing neutrality, it's not something a lot of people do. For example, let's say surfing.
Yeah.
If I want to
why do you go surfing? Tell me.
Exactly, right? There used to be
Ask yourself.
Yeah,
Ask yourself.
So exactly. So I used
Let's
to
do
be.
this. Let's do this game.
Okay.
Ask yourself.
Okay.
Why?
That I used to want to do it because I I thought happiness comes from being able to be free. That's how I thought.
Oh, that's right.
No,
But then you have to be free.
True. But then, not just free. Go to these nice places in the south.
Yes.
Surf all day, chill on the beach, take Instagram photos. Very important. Show the world that you're happy.
So that means you find your happiness in showing others that
Exactly.
you're happy. But that's exactly the opposite.
Exactly.
That's not how it works.
Absolutely, and I think
Then you feed yourself from other people's happiness, and that will never be true happiness because you will feel a void there that is never been filled. It's inside already.
see that's something that if people like I have friends who are on my Instagram and whatever. I used to go on hikes. I used to go to surf down south, all this stuff. Post on Instagram. I do it for Instagram. Like when I'm going there, I'm like, okay, what's going to make an good Instagram post, right? And that's why I do it, right? And now I don't post on Instagram.
Yeah, good.
Like stories, I don't post stories on this one. I mean, it's like, it's
I mean,
just,
you can still post.
I'm telling exactly.
You can still
you have to
post.
know why. You have to know why.
But don't.
True.
No, exactly not. You don't have to know why.
No, as in like
You do it for yourself.
Exactly.
To share.
Exactly.
But not others to expect to see you having a happy life.
True.
Because in this moment
True.
you're asking for it.
True.
That the people tell you, yes, you're happy. But nobody can tell you you're happy. You have to tell yourself.
Yeah.
With whatever you're doing. And if I go surfing, I don't go surfing to fill a void. I not go surfing to get happy from it. I go surfing because it feels right.
See, even we could say that even love is the same thing.
It's the same. Every
people
emotion.
try to forget, like fill voids. Right?
Every emotion. Every
Always.
single emotion. Every single emotion you take, is it a positive or a negative emotion? It's always to fill a void.
Yeah, I think that's this is fill a void concept I've heard with drugs. People who take a lot of like really extreme drugs.
Yeah.
Right. Not the ones that are the awesome ones. Right?
That's another option.
Yeah.
You change your vibrations towards the level that the drug is. If you are, let's take alcohol, it's a very common drug. Let's not call it awesome.
Most addictive. No, when I say awesome, I didn't mean that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever it is. You can take any drug. We can take any drug. Every drug has a certain vibration.
Yeah.
Alcohol is very common. I'm not talking about any religion here. It's one of the most common drugs we use in the world. Sugar maybe even more. But let's take alcohol because sugar most of the people don't see as drugs yet. So what happens with alcohol is when you are in a sad mood, you are here. If you drink alcohol, you forget about your sadness for a moment and you get here. So alcohol higher your vibration. But let's say you are happy. You don't need to drink alcohol. Because if you're happy and you're here, you will drink alcohol. You forget about your happiness. And you come back down to this. So most of the people that consume drugs, they try to raise their vibrations from a lower level because alcohol brings them to a more neutral point. But you don't need anything to be at that neutral point. You don't need any drug. You don't even need food. Like you don't need to eat some steak or fancy food to be happy. That's another thing that you tell yourself that makes you happy. Good food makes you happy. It doesn't. It's just a void that wants to be filled. Your stomach that wants to be filled and say, oh, I want this. I want exactly this. Then I'm gonna be happy. But in the end, you use the energy of this animal, or even the energy of the plant. Whatever you eat, it doesn't matter if you're vegan or eating meat, whatever it is.
You are a vegan or you eat
I'm
everything?
nothing.
You eat everything, right?
I eat conscious. That's all I do. When I eat something, I don't eat it for the
Eat
sake.
conscious.
I don't eat it for the sake of filling a void in myself. I eat it because I need it. Because there's food. It makes my body work. I eat less and less. I don't need to eat more.
This is something even I'm like recently doing.
I used to
Less
eat
and
a
less.
lot. I could eat so much. You can eat as much as you want, basically. But you're just filling a void that it's not going to be filled. You poop it out and you eat again. That's how it goes. And I used to do that. I even made a bet with my friend once who said like, I bet you cannot eat that. I was like, sure I can eat that. I know I have my tummy is huge. I can eat a lot. He was like, you cannot. I was like, okay, I'll show you. Just for the sake of proving him, I ate like a bowl with 3 kilograms of potatoes. And it fit. I just had to go to poop twice in between. But it came. It went in. It all fit in there. It was like a big bowl of potatoes with couscous. Like one of the most filling things. But so you can look at it like this. Tell me your favorite meal.
Good beef attached to us like a bone.
Okay.
Like a ribeye steak or something.
Take a blender. You put all the ingredients inside the blender and blend it. Would it still be your favorite meal to drink this? So you're not attached to this meal. You're attached to the consistency of this. That's what you want. It's not even the taste. If you blend some, and it's the same nutritions, man. It doesn't change anything in there. If you cannot blend something in the blender and eat it, you don't eat it for the sake of food. You eat it for something. I don't know what it is. It's the structure or something.
It's such a cool. This is such a cool perspective.
So basically, you just have to be conscious about this, and you won't need much.
You can apply that to anything.
Yeah.
Meat eaters, vegetarians, vegans.
Everything. What is the only thing that you would like from the blender?
From the?
What would you say is the only thing that tastes good from the blender? Or you wouldn't, not call it like this. You eat it either if it's blended or not, and it's the same. For you, it doesn't make a big difference.
I can't think of it. Maybe juices, maybe? I don't know. Maybe
What is
some
juices made out of?
Solid fruits, right?
So there you go. These are the only things that we eat that we're not attached to the consistency. We're still attached to something. There's sugars and tastes and stuff like that. But at least it's not the consistency.
Sure. Sure. Alright. Maybe even chocolate.
Chocolate is what?
You know, like milkshake and chocolate and like blended or not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But chocolate is a fruit.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it is.
it comes from a fruit at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
It's purified and changed, and there you come back to the sugar. That's the sugar. And the consistency. Because it's the cream that you like. You don't like the cacao. It's not the cacao that you want.
It's
the cacao is bitter.
Yeah,
you don't like
cream that, yeah.
It's the sweet and the creaminess of the milk. It's a consistency that you're attached to. Let's say I don't know how to do that with milk. With milk, maybe you have to do the opposite. If you freeze milk and it's frozen, it's ice, and you bite it and you eat it like you crunch it, it's not satisfying. It's the same thing. It doesn't satisfy you. An egg, for example. A blended egg might taste good if you mix it with the right things. But a frozen egg?
Yeah,
No. So it's a consistency again. It's not the egg itself that you like. It's something about the egg that you like. You don't need it.
So does this principle only like apply for like fruits? I mean,
That's where
I'm just thinking about
That's
it.
where I am so far.
As in, we need to explore more.
As in, you can always
it's
grow.
actually a really good philosophical question.
It means you can grow always. You can get away from fruits also.
That's it. Yeah. Do you meditate?
What is meditation?
As in, like, I don't know. When I say, do you meditate?
I need to know from you what meditation is.
Okay.
What you understand on the meditation.
So I meditate, right?
How do you meditate?
Mindfulness, right? Breathing in and just like see where the brain goes. That's it.
So you ask me if I breathe and let the brain go. That's what I do the whole day, from morning till evening. I breathe and let my brain go wherever it goes. So I meditate 24/7.
People hear this, like if you started with that, if I started with like, do you meditate, and you said that answer, people be like, yeah, this guy is like, a crackpot, I mean, what the hell, like that's crazy. But after everything that you said, something that was running in my mind was like, how the fuck is this guy like so, I mean like, he's philosophical, I don't know, how is he? It makes sense. Makes sense. I understand why you are the way you are because what you just said right now. Your whole meditation.
Good. And then you have to leave it there. You have to leave it there because if you go try to dig deeper, at this moment you try to find a difference between you and me, and that doesn't work because you differentiate you with myself. So you automatically separate myself from you. But if you stay at the moment where you say, I see, you feel it, that's it. So you stay there because then you are me. In this moment, at least for that little moment where you got that, you were me.
And then hopefully that concept is like everyone is in that mindset. I think it would be awesome if everyone's in that mindset.
Yeah, if everyone is in your mindset or my mindset or whoever's mindset it is, then everyone is in the same mindset. That would make a very beautiful world because there would be no separation anymore.
You know that concept of like how plants talk to each other. So for example, in a forest, plants like kilometers apart or whatever, they're connected through the soil, right? Through roots and whatever, like they're all connected. You know how Avatar, where they're like one, if you hurt one, like they can communicate, to talk to like or communicate with one plant, like you can send the message wherever because they're connected, like they feel the same way or whatever. But there is a physical, I think there's a physical connection there.
I mean,
I think
there is for sure.
So, and that some people say that is consciousness in their sense, right?
If you want to give it a word, that's the thing. Most of the people try to give something a word.
Define.
I quickly have to go to pee again.
Yeah.
I hope
Same.
that's okay.
No problem.
Let's take a pee break.
Yes, let's take a pee break.
He's not.
I think I would like to end it at that, to be honest. Yeah. Because I think it's already like an hour has gone, and I think
it's more than an hour. No?
It's about about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. Sweet. Shape like right at the hour. So. And it was very interesting. I'm very, very glad that I was actually thinking I definitely need to, when I'm speaking to Harlik, I don't know, I actually need to ask Harlik's permission whether he's like okay with like you talking about him and stuff like that. I don't know.
Do it. I don't think he minds.
Yeah, awesome.
The only thing that I was talking about Harlik was that I met him in Delhi and came to Sri Lanka because of him. I'm sure he's gonna be happy to hear that he's the reason. Yeah. He knows already. It's not.
So thank you, Harlik.
But do it.
Kingstagram, thank you, Kingstagram.
This he might not like.
He hates it.
He might not like if you publish this.
He hates it when I say that. I don't know. I'll ask him.
So maybe this permission you will not get. If that's still recording, I don't know.
No, it is.
So maybe then he will say no Kingstagram.
Maybe I'll bleep it.
Maybe he will just accept it. Possibly. Check it out. Maybe.
No, I told him like when we are going to talk, I'm definitely going to bring that up. He's like, oh no man, don't even. So, anyways, he's very humble. No, I did speak to him. No, I haven't recorded a conversation yet with him. But I'm very glad that he reminded me of you because I was thinking I needed to get you, and then that day when I called, you were there with him, and then brilliant. And I'm glad that you accepted. I'm very glad that you came here. To be honest. I'm sure Amal, like she was telling me how awesome it is.
I hope so.
Awesome.
Right? I hope he also. Maybe her.
So we're hoping to like reach more people. Let's see. Right. That's the plan. One last thing before you leave. I know you're an artist, right? And I know you are whatever like. Basically, if there is anything that you want to promote, brands, your page, your Facebook page, Instagram.
I have a donation button on my webpage.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone can donate on my donation pot and my webpage whenever they want
Awesome.
and whenever they
Awesome.
feel like and as much as they feel like.
Awesome.
1 or 100
Awesome.
or nothing
Definitely.
or just love.
Definitely. Donate, everyone donate, definitely.
lm1a.net.
No, I'll put the link in the description so that everyone can
I
find
give you
it.
my sticker also. Maybe he wants to donate also. I give him also a sticker.
I'm gonna reconsider. I'm walking to the toilet.
I'm not sure if you remembered right.
Hold on, you can. No, I'm still after the time.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to stick this on my phone. Maybe this displays isn't.
You don't want to stick it on your
I want to stick it on my journal. I have a cool journal. But can I have like 2? Awesome.
You want to also?
Sorry, I was on eavesdropping, but I was listening to it was rather interesting. Anyway, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Very
man.
interesting character. Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi.
Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
So.
Your name is?
Luca.
You're
Nice to
on
meet you,
holiday?
Andrew.
You're on holiday?
How old?
You're on
On
holiday.
holiday, yeah, permanent holiday.
Permanent holiday.
You can be doing that. Unfortunately, yeah, we are still lost in this corporate nonsense.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I guess we are. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as we want to, no?
No, it's something I love to do. I actually enjoy it, so I guess people like it, right?
There's also some stuff written on my webpage if you like what I say.
Have a look at it.
Might be interesting. And if not, also good. You take out of it what you want.
Opinion is always good.
Yes, exactly.
Different opinion, yes.
The more perspectives, the better.
So yeah, the red button
Thanks
on
for
your
listening. Whatever you listen to.
Thank you for coming on board.
Welcome.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Inviting you.
Anything else? Anything? Instagram page? What's your Instagram page? Is it on the website? Can you connect?
Yeah.
You can connect it to the website, right?
Yeah, lm1a.net.
Yeah, I love your art, man. I think you've like drawn you have some scribbles on my journal also.
Possible.
Yeah, you did. You did a couple of times. Brilliant.
Cool. Thank you for inviting